Hey guys, Jason back here with another video. As y'all can tell from the title, this will be part 2 of my Horizon Zero Dawn weapon rankings. If you haven't checked out part 1 of this series, click the button on the top right corner right now. While the weapons listed in my previous video have major downsides which make them impractical to use, those shown in this video are either too specialized for them to deserve a permanent spot on my weapon wheel, or it's simply the fact that there are better alternatives which can get the same job done just as well, if not even better. But that's enough from me. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Right off the bat, I just want to say that this is a very solid weapon. What differentiates the Tearblaster rounds from the Tearblast arrows of the Sharpshot bow is the fact that machine components such as Ravager cannons and Thunderjaw disc launchers can be removed with one single hit, even on ultra hard. On the flip side, you would need 3 to 4 Tearblast arrows to remove the same components. Not only that, but reloading this weapon only costs 1 metal vessel and 1 echo shell, which is super cheap. However, the Tearblaster is only effective at close range, unlike the Tearblast arrows which can travel much further. And besides, Tearblast arrows only require 4 echo shell to craft, which isn't a lot neither. Given how specialized this weapon is, it doesn't quite deserve a permanent slot in my weapon wheel, since the Sharpshot bow already has the Tearblast arrows, while also being able to serve more than one purpose instead of just being able to tear machine components off. In my opinion, this weapon is a must-have for New Horizon players. Say if you're severely outnumbered by a swarm of machines, or you're fighting against flying machines such as Glinthawks and Stormbirds, you can tie them all down and make the fight much easier. In fact, a tied down machine can remain immobile for up to a minute and a half, which is great. The Ropecaster can also be very useful against large machines such as the Thunderjaw and Fireclaw, as tying them down would make it much easier for you to hit their weak spots. However, I rarely use this weapon, not because it's bad, but it's because I feel like this weapon makes every fight way too easy. I personally enjoy the chaos when multiple Sawtooths or Ravagers jump at me and I have to constantly move and dodge around without getting hit. But who cares? Just play the game however you want. If there's one problem I have to point out though, it'd be the fact that it does use up a lot of wire. So don't spam it the way I did in this footage. This is just for showing off how the Ropecaster works. This weapon's most definitely the best out of the 3 new DLC weapons. Not only that, but it's also really fun to use as well. It has 2 firing modes, one's the Ice Thrower and the other being the Ice Cannon. With the Ice Thrower, you can freeze machines super quickly at close range, while also being able to deal decent damage, despite the weapon stats showing it does 0 damage. The Ice Cannon, on the other hand, is a long-range ammunition which is very accurate and does massive damage, even though it does have a long charge-up. In fact, the Ice Cannon has the highest damage stat in the game at 525 on Ultra Hard. Most importantly, its cost per reload is only 15 chill water, which is cheaper than both the improved Stormslinger and the improved Forge Fire. Unfortunately, as great as the Icerail is, it doesn't quite deserve a permanent spot on my weapon wheel neither, simply because while the Ice Thrower is super effective at freezing machines, its range is extremely limited, unlike the Warbow, which is much more effective in mid to long range combat. Also, triple precision arrows of the Sharpshot bow can do roughly the same amount of damage as the Ice Cannon without its long charge up. But overall, even though the Icerail is not one of the best, it's certainly one of my favorites in the game. Here's a confession. I never ever used this weapon until just recently when I found out how truly amazing it is. I mean, 438 damage on Ultra Hard doesn't sound too bad, right? In my opinion, you cannot be fighting multiple machines on Ultra Hard, especially Sawtooths and Ravagers, without equipping the Tripcaster. You see, on Ultra Hard, machines are much more aggressive and more than one of them can attack you at once, so there's virtually no time for you to stand still and slowly aim while they're jumping all over the place. With the Tripcaster, however, you can simply place several blast wires anywhere on the ground and continue dodging until some machine inevitably trips on a wire and eats a big explosion. You simply don't have to aim with this thing. However, I don't use this weapon in every fight because that'd be overkill. And besides, the Blastling can do big damage already with its sticky bombs and blast bombs, while its proximity bombs can be used for creating a minefield by firing them onto the ground, which works similarly to the blast wires of the Tripcaster. Still, I'd always swap between this and the weapon mix-up on the list, depending on the situation. Well, this is the end of part 2. Stay tuned for part 3 where I'll be revealing the top 4 weapons in the game. If you enjoyed this video, do like and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time.